should have seen this coming. What? You managed to write your first 2 videos in a way that were sort of connected, and now you're stuck. You don't know how to write the 3rd video because you want it to be connected as well. Basically. Well, what's the big problem? You never meant to have like a long string of serialized videos. Yeah, I know, but if I managed to connect this one as well, it would be just so perfect. Maybe, but it's not sustainable. You would never manage to make the content that you want if you get stuck in little things like this. But it would be so perfect. Okay, seriously, you need to fix that perfectionism thing. Yeah, you say it like I had any idea how to do that. Oh, hey! Looks like Wikihow really does have a guide for everything. Hi, how are you doing? Welcome back to LittleDewDroplets. As I mentioned before, my name is Ju. Also, as I mentioned before, I'm a perfectionist, and oh my god, it sucks. If you're a perfectionist too, I know you understand me. I mean, sure, when you do get to do things and everything is exactly as you wanted it, it's amazing. Being a perfectionist, you sometimes get this feeling when someone else is watching something that you did and complimenting it, and you just know. You know that it's every little tiny detail that you paid so much attention to that's making others like it so much. But most of the time, and I mean an ungodly proportion of the time, nothing is as good as you want it to be, and everything could be a little bit better. Just a tiny bit better. And when this happens, you start losing the enjoyment for the process that you're doing. Or your productivity gets hurt, like, a lot. I mean, look at when I'm starting to post things in this channel. It's mid-year. I've been planning this since September of last year, but every little detail seemed to matter so much, and every little detail seemed to need to be so perfect. And here I am, and it's still not perfect. I refuse to keep going like this. I won't let my perfectionism get in the way of me doing stuff. So today I'm gonna dive into Wikihow and I'm gonna learn what I can do to help me get free from the chains of my obsessive behavior, and I'm gonna hope that any of this helps, because I need help. If you want to read the whole thing instead of my heavily summarized version, I'm gonna leave the article down below. Know that it's hard to find, but it's gonna be down there. So the first tip here is forgive yourself for your shortcomings, because nobody's perfect. You think that if I knew how to do that, I would be looking in this website for help? That is the most general, broad, umbrella sort of advice for I don't see how that helps. I mean, I get it. I get why it has to be here. But if someone is having troubles with being themselves and not being perfect, then that person is not going to find help in accept yourself not being perfect. And if you're someone like me who doesn't struggle with myself being perfect, but with the things I do being perfect, then that's a different issue altogether. Let's get something clear first. I have no problem whatsoever accepting that I'm not perfect. I wouldn't even want to be perfect if it was possible to be perfect. And it is not. Can you imagine anything as creepy as a perfect human being? There is literally no way of being everything so that everyone would consider you perfect. Or creepy or boring. Like, how bland would a perfect human being be? No, that's not a problem. What I do have a problem with, however, is my creations not being perfect, because those are things that I've seen people doing in a way that I consider perfect. And if they can do it, then why can't I? But that's what I'm trying to fix, because I realized it's a very toxic attitude. But Wikihow is not giving me very good advice. I hope for the rest of this video I can get something useful. Number 2 is focus on what is really needed. Is it to produce a perfect result or to get it done? You know, this is really good advice that I've gotten before in my life, and I've gotten it from someone that I really cared about and someone that I really admired, one of my art teachers. This is such an easy thing to forget, but it's actually the most important thing to remember. Because if I think about it from my perspective, I promised myself that I would try to do 2 videos per week, and that I would only allow myself the year 2017 to try and see how far I could get these projects of mine. And that time is running out. None of that is going to work if I keep waiting for things to be perfect instead of doing them. So I think it's time I start prioritizing meeting my deadlines instead of meeting my expectations. Number 4 is separate results from judgment. Do not let your productivity be dictated by fear of others' judgment. Boy, do I have a lot to say about this one. Okay, here's the thing. It's not a black and white issue. When you're creating something, and this is the whole focus of my entire video, if you haven't noticed, it's about perfectionism when you're creating something of your own. Normally, you're not doing it just for yourself. You either want to share it with someone, or share it on the internet, or put it in a contest. If you're creating, it's the highest probability that you are going to create for a public at some point. So no matter how much I repeat a piece of advice like this, if you spend hours of your life pouring yourself and your effort into something and then people hate it, it's still going to hurt you. It is important to remember one thing: no matter what it is that you do, at least one person out there is going to hate it. That means that at least one person out there is going to love it. I tell myself this constantly, and this is such an easy advice to internalize once you start seeing it as an audience member and not as a creator. I have so many friends that like things that I hate, and so many friends that hate things that I love. Out there, there's someone who's going to enjoy my videos very much, and someone who will enjoy your anything. Number 5 here is learn from judges and critics, which is a good one. It's a good one, but it needs a bit of an explanation. When you're in the internet, you can get a lot of people who aren't really equipped to be judges nor critics. This manga sucks and you suck. KYS. If you want to be safe though, assimilate the critique that is diverse and knowledgeable. What I mean with diverse is that if you have people from different backgrounds, from different walks of life, who are all giving you the same critique, then all of these people, regardless of how they were brought up, are still saying the same bad thing, and that is a pretty universal message of you having to revise something. And what I mean by knowledgeable is that if you've got someone who's been doing this thing for 5 years, for 10 years, they probably made all of these mistakes you're doing, and they corrected them through a lot of time, a lot of practice. So if you take their advice, you can advance faster. Number 6 is get started, even if you're not sure what you're doing. Okay, no, but seriously, every professional creator out there is going to tell you that you need to start, even if it's rough and even if you're gonna change everything afterwards. For 8, create a sheltered environment where you have permission to make mistakes. Experiment with something you haven't tried yet. Do some practice exercises or play brainstorming games. Do something with the sole intent of doing it as badly as you can. Try doing it with your eyes closed, or while you're trying to do something else at the same time, or with your other hand. If you know that it doesn't need to be perfect, if you know that it has to be bad, then you can have as much fun as you want. Just play and allow yourself to do 1 or 2 things that don't need to be perfect nor even good. Number 11 is recognize the beauty and benefits in imperfection. Again, why do you think I'm here? If I knew how to accept imperfections, then I wouldn't be a perfectionist, would I? That's enough. Wikihow, I'm taking over. How about this? Know that maybe in the future your opinion on the imperfections might have changed because we're always changing. So what you consider an imperfection today might be something you appreciate tomorrow. I think that's good enough. But I hope this will help me in my future videos, and I hope it helps you as well if you suffer from perfectionism. Leave me a comment if it works, because I would love to know if any of this advice was actually useful for someone, even if it doesn't work for me. And of course, let me know if you have your own tips on dealing with perfectionism, because I will appreciate everything. Just give me more. Anyways, thank you for watching, especially if you're not a perfectionist and this video wasn't exactly useful for you, which I don't know why you tanked it, but thank you. Also, how does it feel to be a superior being? Remember to hit the like button if you enjoyed this video, because that's literally what it was made for, and also I post every Thursday, but you can ask YouTube to remind you of that, because computers can do that, and that means you don't need to remember it. For now, I wish you the best of days, or the best of nights, or the best in between, whatever time you're watching this at, and I'll see you next time.